back to my channel. This is Anate. If this is your first time here, hi, welcome. I'm a digital, traditional, and just a visual artist in general from Honduras. Sadly, my digital footprint is really long. I've been 8 to 9 years working as an artist on the internet, specifically on furry art. So I don't think you need any other type of information aside from that. So yeah, this is a video that is pretty different from the rest of my channel. I've been focusing a lot on digital art, but I think 2025 is a year that I want to return to my roots, and that means working on traditional artwork. I'm gonna show you right now the reference photo that I use for this specific piece. And so I've really been into like Tibet and China. We will also be talking about my resolutions and goals for 2024 and how they compare to what I actually did do and what I actually did not do, and also the feeling of being left behind. So yeah, buckle up. So right now I'm just laying down like the base colors. This is just a Canson A3 size sketchbook, watercolor sketchbook, and I'm using my Mission Gold watercolors for this one. I also did go over the sketch with a ballpoint pen first. And the reason why I went over with a ballpoint pen first is because I wanted to have like a general idea of what I was doing, and having some base colors down before going with China ink. So here's the kind of like the sketch where I just put down some colors real quick over on Photoshop and just trying to figure out like a certain color palette. So yeah, back on January 2025, like 2 months ago actually, I did have a little bit of a crisis, you could say, because I was feeling left behind in a way that a lot of people my age already have a big chunk of their life figured out, right? So I'm 23, gonna turn 24 on March, and so I just felt really upset at myself for some really weird reason, because again, I this is also a big problem of social media. I was seeing a lot of videos on my TikTok feed of artists that were 21 or even 19-year-old artists living in New York and already having a brand, already having a business, an advertising agency, like. And I compared myself to them, and I will beat myself down by this. And so I did all of this, and I didn't quite realize how insane that comparison is. Like, first of all, I'm not from the US, I'm from Honduras. Like, I think that's the most important aspect of this conversation, that of course my life is not the same as the life of a 20-year-old living in New York. Like, that's a given, right? That would be like one of the first things. And also, we often believe that this is the way the entire world is living. But there's a really clear and distinct percentage of people that have become content creators, and because they are content creators and because they are self-employed, they appear more on their feed. It's really hard to see people with full-time jobs making TikToks in our feed, right? It doesn't really sell the whole successful 20-year-old experience that society seems to push over us. And so that is something that I've been thinking a lot lately, which is really funny, because when I was making this video, when I was making like the script for this video, I sat down and I wrote down everything that I did last year, and oh my god, what the fuck was that? So let's jump right into it. First of all, January 2024, I participated on my first ever national exhibition. Like, it was the first time ever that my art was hung on a gallery. That was last year, and for some reason my brain is making me believe that that happened like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. That is why I'm feeling left behind, because my perception of time is just fucked. Like, it doesn't make sense. So that was January 2024. Later on March 2024, I quit my job. So if you didn't know me, I used to work at an advertising agency. Like, straight out of university, I went on to work on this advertising agency, and I was there for, I think, 10 months or something like that. And so I did last there a really good while, and I did gain a lot of experience, but it did not leave me any time at all to work on art, and it was taking a really big toll on my mental health. So I had to take the decision, like the really big leap of faith, of quitting a job that put food on my table. I chose to quit a job that, traditionally speaking, is everything you want, especially in my country. Like, it paid the bills. Yeah, it did pay the bills. It did give me a lot of experience. I was part of some really great projects from some really good clients, but it was also making me miserable. And this is not something personal against the place that I worked at. This is something that is truly how my brain works, and the way that my brain works is that I need to have some space for my art, and I need to have some space for my family. And if a job does not give me either of those things, fuck it, I'm out. Like, I also did take that leap of faith at the time, because I didn't have any type of debts. I didn't have anything, realistically speaking, holding me back on taking that decision. So March 2024, I quit my job 15 days before my birthday. I spent my birthday unemployed, and I was happy as fuck. Then the next 2 months, I worked full-time as a furry artist, and guys, those were probably the best and the scariest 2 months of my life. Like, I woke up at 8 a.m. and I worked on furry art until 5 p.m., 6 p.m. That was the fucking life. Those were the best days. Like, I cannot even comprehend how happy I felt. And so the job itself did pay the bills, and thank you for all the people that did commission me during that time, because she did literally put food on my table. But sadly, it wasn't giving me like a lot of leeway into putting stuff into my savings account. And so I did make pretty much the same amount of money that I was making on my advertising job, but I also wanted more. I needed to change my equipment, I needed to change my laptop, I just needed to do a lot of stuff. And so I decided to try applying for a non-traditional job, which is a remote job, something like a job to work from home. And so I did, and I got one, and I've been working there ever since. I think I already have like 10-11 months over there at the moment, and guys, it changed my life. Like, I have time for my family, I have time for my art, I can work from home. I do stuff that is creative. I do graphic design, I handle social media, but it also fundamentally allows me to experiment and do new stuff and everyone is really supportive of it, but I no longer have to stay up late, and I can put back the effort into my personal projects again, which is something incredibly important for my mental health. So that was fucking insane. That is, I keep forgetting that was last year. Like I keep thinking that happened like 3 years ago, which is really funny. So yeah. So during that time that I was alternating into this new job and finally putting some money into my savings, finally seeing the light of day and seeing my friends and seeing my family and actually becoming a functional human being, I was also applying to a shit ton of art opportunities. And if you're an artist, you know what type of opportunities I'm talking about. I'm talking art residencies, I'm just talking pretty much every single opportunity that said illustrator or curator or whatever. I will just click apply and go from there. And I don't know how many of them I filled. I think I have like over 200 emails that just are just rejection letters, which is something that was very much disheartening from last year. Like every day I will wake up and there will be like some type of rejection email, and then I will have to go on with my day living with that. But I got really frustrated because of that. It felt like I was getting stuck, and it's something that I've been struggling with ever, like since forever. Like I feel like I'm stuck, and it's such a weird thing to explain to people, because fundamentally I am progressing. Fundamentally I did do a lot of things and I'm doing a lot of new things, but it feels like my feet are stuck in the ground. So I'm trying to unlearn that. I'm trying to find out what the actual root of the problem is and see how it goes from there. So some goals that I did have last year and that I unconsciously actually did succeed at, like some goals that I actually did get to do last year. For context, I do a vision board each year and I try to divide it into categories, from personal life to art style to goals to whatever, and I did do all of them, which is crazy. I did participate in a national exhibition. I did switch to a remote job. That is something that was in the plans, actually. I did apply to at least 5 opportunities. I did apply way more than 5. And I also did make the switch from working on a smaller scale to a bigger scale. Because I was able to change jobs, I was also able to invest more into materials, and so I got into MDF art, which, if you don't know, it's a type of material that you pretty much cut into any type of shape and use that as your canvas. I was able to do that. By July, I already was presenting a piece using that material on an exhibition, which was really great. It was really fun to do. And I did also write down as a goal to become self-sustainable through art commissions. I did write it down as something that I was successful at, even though it was short pace, even though it was like for 2 months. I think it's valid to to mark it down as completed. Oh, yeah. By the way, that's my cat. For some reason, he decided to sit right on the drawing. Thank God it was dry. Thank God I was working with wash at that stage. Like, look, he's doing it on purpose. He's going to look straight up at the camera. Wait. He's gonna do it. He looks straight up at the camera. And he's like, yeah, fuck you. Piece of shit. I love him. I think he's just gonna leave. Like, what the fuck? Why are cats like that? Anyway, so those are the goals that I had last year. This year, I'm just gonna go back to my roots. I'm gonna go back to smaller scale traditional art. There's my cat again on the screen. I'm gonna go back to smaller scale traditional arts, and the reason why it's because big paintings are harder to sell, and big paintings have been taking a lot of space in my home. And as much as I love having them around, it's gonna become a thing. So I'm gonna stick to small drawings like this one. I'm saying small drawings, and this is like A3, but something that is able to be shipped to a home without a truck, on something that I can send it over to an exhibition without thinking about the logistics of moving a giant piece around. Not only big pieces, but they're also really heavy. MDF is really heavy, if you didn't know. Like, by 2025, something else that happened, I did go on live TV like a week ago, and it was the most real experience of my life, because I didn't think I would be able to do that like this young. I expected that to happen when I was in my 30s, but it happened. And a new goal that I have is to finish writing my webcomic, which, if you don't know, I've been working on a webcomic, as all artists do, and it's been in progress for over 10 years. And during the live interview on TV, they did ask me about it. They did ask me about my OCs and about the story, and I had to come clean and tell them, hey, this is not gonna come out right now. These characters, you won't see them again until 10 years from now. But because it's out there, I actually need to lock in and work, which is fucked. That's fucked. But it's also going to be really fun. I think it's a fun challenge to force myself there. So anyway, summarizing, life is a bitch, and life won't let you get your dream opportunity or your dream job or whatever just because you work hard on it. If the timing isn't right, life won't give it to you. That is something that I have learned during these past 3 years. If life does not want you to move on, it won't let you move on. Like, you are going to stay there, no matter what you do. So I know like the entire world is looking grim this 2025, but honestly, I'm going to stick on what I'm good at. I'm going to keep being a workaholic. I'm going to try not to go insane. And also, I'm going to apply to a lot of weird side quests and hope that one of them will open a door for me. And maybe life, maybe, just maybe, life will let me go through the door. But if it doesn't, it's fine. My brain just works in a really weird way, in that if I haven't been able to accomplish something in 2 years or 3 years, it's always in 2 or 3s. I go insane. So we'll check in next year. Maybe I haven't committed a crime by then, out of sheer spite or something. So right now I'm just adding some details using gouache, cleaning up some of the sketches that I did with ballpoint pens, darkening some of the spots with watercolor. This painting will be for sale for people from Honduras. I don't know when. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I need to scan it and everything, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It's been, I think, 4 to 5 years since I worked on a piece like this with full watercolor, like actually sitting down. I think this took me like 3 to 4 days from sketch to finished product. If you guys have any questions, or actually if you guys have any goals that you want to share, or if you like have any experiences from last year that you want to share, you can do it in the comments below. We can gossip and we can complain together. This is a safe space for complaining, and especially complaining about rich kids and nepo babies. So thank you guys so much. Hope to see you soon. I do plan on making more videos on this channel, by the way. I'm working on a video about learning Blender, and god, it's been a fucking trip. I don't know when it will come out, but when it does, it's gonna be really funny because it's just me swearing. So yeah, that is the finished product. I think, yeah, I took the tape off and everything. I'm really happy in the way that it turned out. So hopefully I'll work on more pieces like this in the future. It was a really fun experience, really therapeutic as well. So see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.